Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new series on communication skills. As I had promised, I would be covering the different dimensions of communication in short videos with practical tips. So today being the first launch, what am I going to cover? I'm going to cover what is effective communication skills, and if I have to improve it, in simple terms, what am I supposed to do? Because what I'm going to discuss today, the 6 small tips, I'm going to take them up each individually in the upcoming videos. And also the different forms in which we communicate with each other. You see, if we are working on our communication skills on a daily basis, we will be having a perfect work-life balance. And this is a skill where one has to work every day because no one is perfect. The day we start thinking we are perfect, the improvement stops. So if I have to understand what communication is all about, it's a two-way process, which involves the sender and the receiver, in which the transfer of information takes place for better understanding. But then the bigger question is, when I'm communicating with someone, am I able to get across with my point of view to the other person with whom I'm communicating? And then this becomes a communication challenge. So if I have to overcome this challenge, what am I supposed to do? Simply speaking, these are the things which you can follow. Number one, whenever we communicate with someone, it's very important for each one of us to know the reason for which we are communicating, the intention. Why am I communicating with that person? Who is this person? What should be the medium for my communication? How do I put across my thoughts? What are the kind of words I should be using? This I will be taking up in my next video when I will be discussing the audience checklist. But out here, simply as a tip, it becomes imperative for me as a person to know the person with whom I'm going to interact. In my interaction, it's not always necessary that the person is going to agree with my point of view. So if the person begs to disagree with my point of view, am I a good listener? Do I listen to the point of view and the opinion and the intention of the other person without getting biased? The third thing, when I communicate, do I just go and communicate or I prepare and communicate? For communication to be a success, it's always advisable that we are preparing our communication. So what am I supposed to do? Jot down my points on a piece of paper before my conversation takes place. Whenever there is communication, there are always barriers around it, which again would be discussed. But despite the barriers, am I able to communicate with a focus without getting distracted? That's very important. Gone are the days when people had all the time to listen to our stories, long stories. In this fast-paced world, business communication demands that our communication is short, sweet, to the point, and concise. And last but not the least, should there be a disagreement, as I mentioned in my point number 2, am I going to be in a reactive mode by arguing? Think about it, because if we argue, be it personal or professional front, we are going to spoil the relationships. Now, once I've done these 6 things, then it becomes important for me to understand that what are the different modes in which I'm communicating. I communicate verbally. Giving and taking instructions is done verbally. Instructions are given in the meeting verbally. Instructions are given on the phone also. Then there's something called body language, which has 6 parameters to it. Starts with the eyes, facial expressions, voice, gestures, position, and proximity. Not to worry, each of these would be taken care of in the upcoming videos. The third is written communication. We express our point of view through written communication. It could be in the form of a circular, it could be in the form of a notice, a memo, a letter, an email, a report. There could be different ways of communicating the point of view. Listening plays a very important role. And here, as an effective communicator, I must know the difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is physically present, mentally switched off. Listening demands 4 things: listen, understand, retain, and then communicate. And if listening is not happening, then there is a difference of opinion, which we call it as conflict. How do we resolve conflicts? That would also be taken up. So much for now. Thank you very much.